What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Wednesday, December 6th, 2023, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 1:13 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States, and we currently have several nuclear bombers airborne over the United States, and we also have several nuclear war command and control planes in the air. We also have a nuclear sniffer plane, and we also have a high priority reconnaissance plane, and all of these planes are airborne right now. So let me show you where these planes are. So we have one B 52 flying over Billings area right now in Montana. We have another B 52 flying over northern Kansas. And we also have a nuke sniffer in northern Kansas as well. And we have a combat sentinel plane flying over Arkansas right now. This is a high priority reconnaissance plane. These planes provide intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance directly to the president and the top generals. And here we have a nuclear war command and control plane that turned its transponder off over western Kentucky. It's pretty rare to see these turn their transponders off. And then here we have another nuclear war command and control plane out in the Atlantic off the coast of Long Island. So this is very serious, guys, because the last few days we've been seeing a lot of nuclear war command and control planes and also B 52s airborne. 3 days ago, we had two B 52s airborne and five nuclear war command and control planes. And one of those nuclear war command and control planes turned its transponder off, just like the one here in Western Kentucky did today. So something's going on. I don't know if this is related to Guyana. I don't know if we're about to take measures against Yemen or Iran. But something is definitely going on. U.S. nuclear forces are on high alert, and they've been on high alert the last few days. So I want to update you guys on some of the other breaking news from around the world. So the president of Turkey threatened Israel, saying that if Israel dares to kill senior Hamas officials on the soil of Turkey, then Israel will pay such a great price for it that it will not be able to recover. Okay, that's the president of Turkey responding to a leak from Shin Bet chief's statement regarding the possibility of assassinating senior Hamas officials on the soil of Turkey. And he said, if Israel dares to take such a step on Turkish soil, it will pay such a great price that it will not be able to recover from it. So that's basically biblical, guys. Okay. So the president of Turkey really does not like Israel at all. And it appears there's another incident going on right now in the southern Red Sea. The UK trade operations put out this advisory today saying that there's some kind of an incident involving an unmanned aerial vehicle in the vicinity of Hodeida, Yemen, just west of the port of Hodeida. Okay. So another incident going on near Yemen, and the Iranian militias in Iraq carried out a drone strike on the U.S. military base Al Harir near Erbil in northern Iraq. And British transport planes departing from Cyprus are flying to Lebanon in order to evacuate British citizens from the country. Okay, so Britain is evacuating citizens from Lebanon. And Saudi Arabia asked the U.S. for restraint in its response to Yemen to prevent the war between Israel and Hamas from escalating into a large-scale regional conflict, according to Reuters. And a missile was fired from Yemen today toward southern Israel, and it was intercepted. Apparently, this was a surface-to-surface missile, and it was launched towards southern Israel, and it was successfully intercepted over the Red Sea by the Hetz long range air defense system. So Yemen is continuing to fire these long range missiles at Israel. Okay. And this is the first time in Israel's history that they've had long range missiles fired at them. Okay. The first time they had a long range missile fired at them was last month, also from Yemen. And where do you think Yemen is getting these long range missiles from? They're not making those missiles themselves, they're getting them from Iran. Okay. So Yemen is continuing to fire these long range missiles at Israel. This is very concerning. And Jennifer Griffin of Fox News is reporting that the USS Mason shot down a drone that was fired from Yemen today. And it is not clear if the USS Mason was the target or not. The USS Mason was in the southern Red Sea in international waters. So I don't know if that's the reason for this advisory. Maybe that's why they posted this advisory. And senior Biden administration officials have agreed that striking Yemen is the wrong course of action for now, per 3 U.S. officials, even though some military officers have proposed more forceful responses to the militants' attacks in the Red Sea. There's high-level consensus within the administration that it does not make sense for the U.S. military to respond directly to the Houthis, the officials said. So this is crazy, guys. I mean, we're literally just going to let Yemen launch missiles at our warships and at civilian cargo ships, and we're not going to do anything about it. This is crazy if this is true. And we have a statement that was issued by the Yemeni armed forces. The Yemeni armed forces continue to carry out their military operations against the Israeli enemy, as well as implementing the decision to prevent Israeli ships from navigating the Arab and Red Seas in support of the oppressed Palestinian people and until the aggression against our brothers in Gaza stops. Okay, so the Yemen military confirming that they're going to continue to carry out military operations against Israel and prevent Israeli ships from navigating in the Persian Gulf and in the Red Sea. Very concerning, guys. No end in sight whatsoever. And yesterday, I read to you what the leader of Hamas said. He said that there's not going to be any more ceasefires or anything like that. 16 missiles have been launched from southern Lebanon towards Israeli positions in the upper Galilee near the Matat settlement. 16 missiles, guys. Absolutely insane. And the Israeli defense minister warns that Israel will go into Lebanon. So I'm going to read to you exactly what he said today. He said, "We will restore security to the residents through an international political arrangement to remove Hezbollah beyond Litany based on UN Resolution 1701. If the arrangement is not successful, Israel will act militarily to remove Hezbollah from the border in Lebanon." Okay, so he's basically saying they're going to give the UN resolution a try. And if that doesn't work, we're going to go in there and take out Hezbollah ourselves. So strong words there from the Israeli defense minister. So looks like Israel's going to go into Lebanon as soon as they're done with Gaza, and they're going into southern Gaza right now. The commander of Israel's Southern Command said the fight in Khan Yunis is a major effort. We are pushing forward towards the goals on the front. Khan Yunis is in southern Gaza right now. So Israel is making huge gains in Gaza, okay, in the north, in the south. They still have a lot of work to do, but their military operation has been very successful so far. And I think they're going to go towards Hezbollah next. And the presidents of MIT, Harvard, and UPenn were grilled at a Senate hearing today, and they refused to admit that students calling for genocide of Jews is considered bullying. Very concerning, guys. These Ivy League schools are, working for the New World Order. I mean, we know that. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, they have brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you have to use the link preparewithnyprepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. And this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged watertight buckets, so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Pretty much anyone can find the space in their home to fit 6 buckets, and it'll cover you for 3 months. And it's a variety of food, lunches, breakfasts, dinners, drinks, snacks, free shipping included, 25% off their normal price. Use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the discount. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is excellent for outdoorsmen or people who go vehicle camping. You don't have to worry about rotating anything. You don't have to worry about your preps going bad. Just store this stuff in a temperature stable location, not too cold, not too hot, stable throughout the year, and it will last 25 years. They also have a general store. If you click the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com, it'll take you to their general store where they have everything you can imagine, from potassium iodide to water filters, solar generators, solar panels, survival seeds, fire starters, anything you can imagine, it's all there. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month freeze-dried food supply. And the link is in the description below this video. And the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, officially announced last night that the Essequibo region of Western Guyana is now officially part of Venezuela. And he released a new map of Venezuela. And here you can see him holding up this map. And here's a closer look at the map. You can see on the right side of the map is the Essequibo region of Guyana. Okay, so he's recognizing the western part of Guyana as part of Venezuela. And Brazil rejects any use of force by Venezuela to occupy the Essequibo territory in Guyana and will urge the Caracas government not to threaten its neighbor. President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva's top foreign policy advisor said on Wednesday. Okay, so Brazil is going to put pressure on Venezuela to get them to not use military force against Guyana. And just to remind you guys, Guyana has no official defense treaty with any major military power. And here we have some footage coming out from Venezuela. This is along the border with Guyana. You can see a flatbed truck full of sandbags. And you know what you use sandbags for, guys? To stop bullets. Okay, so they're bringing in sandbags to build fortifications. And here we have a member of the Venezuelan military standing on top of the truck. Here we have a picture of a bulldozer being brought to the border with Guyana, and they're making roads into Guyana from Venezuela because there's no roads in that part of Guyana. So there's no way for Venezuela to bring their military equipment through. So they're going to be building roads, and here you can see Venezuelan soldiers here. And here we have a video showing the Brazilian military deployed to the northern part of Brazil, close to the border with Venezuela. You can see infantry fighting vehicles. Look at that, guys. Okay, infantry fighting vehicles. We have medical trucks here. We have a variety of different types of vehicles. But this is right now, guys. Okay, Brazil is sending their forces to the border with Venezuela, so Venezuela doesn't use Brazilian territory to enter Guyana. Okay, so very, very serious situation right now. And this is the geolocation of that video. You could see where it is, very close to the Venezuelan border. And the United States assesses that the risk that Ukraine will suffer defeat in the conflict is high. This was stated by the White House. And Ukraine's Defense Intelligence Ministry says it assassinated former pro Russian Ukrainian presidential candidate Ilya Kiva near Moscow in a targeted operation. And Sweden and the United States, amid delays in ratifying Sweden's application to join NATO, signed a defense agreement. U.S. Swedish defense agreement grants the U.S. access to 17 military bases in Sweden, including 5 air bases and 1 airport. The agreement does not mention nuclear weapons or nuclear policy, but has cryptic reference to certain types of weapons. Okay, so here it is. Okay, this is one of the articles in this agreement, and it says here, all activities under this agreement shall be conducted with full respect for the sovereignty, laws, and international legal obligations of Sweden, including with regard to the stockpiling of certain types of weapons on Swedish territory. So, I don't know if this means that the U.S. wants to put nuclear weapons in Sweden, but it seems like they're creating a provision for it in this contract with Sweden. Okay. And here's some of the bases that are going to be used by the U.S. Okay. The Berga Regimental Area and Exercise Area, Boden Regimental Area and Exercise Area, Halmstad Regimental Area and Airbase, Harno Sand Exercise Area and Harbor, Kiruna Military Camp and Exercise Area, Christineham Regimental Area and Exercise Area, Kafarn Military Camp and Exercise Area, Lulia Air Base, Ravlunda Military Camp and Exercise Area, Revenge Head Regimental Area, Ranaby Air Base, Satanas Air Base, Uppsala Air Base, Vidzel Airport and Test Range, Visby Regimental Area and Exercise Area, Alvdalen Military Camp and Exercise Area, and Ostersund Military Camp and Exercise Area. So this is crazy, guys. I mean, you don't ask another country to use this many bases unless you're preparing for World War III or some major conflict. This is insane. Look at all these bases. The foreign ministry spokeswoman of Russia, Maria Zakharova, warned that fighter jets supplied by NATO member states to Ukraine will be a legitimate target for Russian troops, and the risk of a direct military clash with the alliance will only increase. And the Chinese foreign minister, in a conversation with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, demanded that the U.S. stop interfering in China's internal affairs. And there's video footage coming out of hundreds of Chinese vessels gathering at a reef near the Philippines. And these Chinese vessels apparently belong to some kind of Chinese military branch, some kind of National Guard or something. But this is very concerning, guys. Hundreds of Chinese vessels gathering at a reef near the Philippines. So we're basically in the middle of World War III now, guys. We're in the middle of World War III. This is the beginning stages of World War III. We have all these wars popping up around the world, and the wars are between NATO countries and BRICS countries, okay? We have Russia and Ukraine. We have Israel and Hamas. We have China and the Philippines, or China and Japan, China, Taiwan, North Korea, South Korea, Venezuela, Guyana, okay? All these fronts are opening up now all of a sudden. So get prepared, guys. And we have some breaking news that the U.S. is going to be deploying a powerful new missile launcher to the Indo-Pacific in 2024. The U.S. military has confirmed that it plans to deploy to the Indo-Pacific next year a new ground-based missile launcher capable of firing weapons with a range of up to 2,500 kilometers. The U.S. Army Pacific Command intends to deploy the Typhoon strategic mid-range fire systems to the region in 2024, spokesman Colonel Rob Phillips told the Japan Times on Tuesday, pointing to earlier remarks by General Charles Flynn, the commander of the U.S. Army's forces in the Pacific. Flynn told reporters at the Halifax International Security Forum last month that the system, which employs SM-6 missiles and Tomahawk cruise missiles and modifies them for ground launch, would be deployed next year. So this is huge news, guys, okay? The SM-6 missiles are part of the Aegis missile defense system, which is what we have on some of our warships. And we also have those deployed in Poland and Romania. They can intercept ICBMs, okay? The SM-6 interceptors are designed to intercept ICBMs, okay? And they want to deploy these into the Indo-Pacific region, and they can also fire the Tomahawk missiles as well. Now, the Tomahawk missiles can be conventional or nuclear. So the U.S. is gearing up for a potential war in Asia, guys. This is the beginning stages of World War III. I have no doubt about it, okay? So get prepared, guys. That's the latest information that I have. I will be back later tonight with another update. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell icon below so you get notified when I post these emergency alerts. And until next time, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.